Hi everyone. On popular request, I'm covering all different types of joins which are possible in ABAP or frequently used in ABAP. And today we will be covering for all entries in SAP ABAP Select Queries in layman terms so that anybody and everybody can understand it. So let's take a deep dive into the for all entries example. Now, it is very similar to inner joins, which we discussed earlier, my previous videos. And what it does is instead of having a inner join on two database tables, you do have a join on a database table and the internal table by using for all entries. Now, the code performs a join on the database table and the internal table. Now, why for all entries? So earlier, SAP product was on ECC, which ECC 3 or ECC 6, and it used three-tier architecture. And because there were performance issues while fetching huge amount of data in the ECC architecture, three-tier architecture, SAP recommended to use for all entries instead of having joins on multiple tables. So, will it be allowed to use in HANA? Yes. You can write for all entries even in the HANA code which you are writing to fetch data from database tables in your reports or function modules or any other OData service or any other objects which you are using. Now, will you be able to use it using CDS views? Yes. If you are using the CDS view in your ABAP code internally, you can use for all entries also. Now let us understand it graphically what this for all entries does. So you have an input of a database table, you fetch it into an internal table, and then you can do processing on this internal table. Let's say you want to modify certain data, you want to multiply some amount, you want to give some discounts, etc., etc. Now this is optional step, and once this is done, you can use this internal table as an input to fire a select query on another database table using this for all entries statement. Now, let us take an example or a use case. And I always say that if you want to understand business logic or you need to understand how to write code, you should always go to a grocery shop. So as a shopkeeper, I want to know the quantity of product type, sales quantity of product type biscuits. So I have two database tables, prod tab and order tab. I have one of the columns or the fields in the prod tab, which is a product type, and against those products there are various orders which have been placed in the order tab. Now, as if I have to write a select query using for all entries, how it will be? So I will select the product from the product tab and I will store it in an internal table IT prod tab. Now, what is the internal table? If you are not aware of it, it is very much similar to arrays which are available in other languages, and it will have a field structure, and the array will be tabular format which will be repeated for the structure. So I will fetch all the products of type product type biscuit into the internal table IT prod tab. Now it is followed by a size abarsi check always. So always remember that before you do for all entries for a particular internal table, if there is a select statement about that, to fill that internal table, you check whether that select is successful and there are some entries which are selected in the internal table which you want to take in the for all entries. And if there is no immediate previous select statement, then you do describe lines of the internal table, and if there are some entries in that internal table, then only you proceed ahead with for all entries, otherwise your program will give dump. And then it is followed by a select query on the order table over here. into another internal table IT order tab, and it will be done for all entries in the IT prod tab, which means my code will fetch all the product orders from the order tab which exist in this IT prod tab. So that is why this where condition is given over here, which says that where the product is equal to IT prod tab hyphen product. So this is how the join using for all entries is written in ABAP. And again, I repeat, this is equivalent to a inner join on two tables, prod tab and order tab, wherein I am comparing the field product from both the tables, and it was earlier used in ECC SAP R3 ECC three-tier architecture to avoid performance issues. And now, because SAP has gone on HANA, they are recommending to use direct inner joins on the database tables. So here is the pictorial example in pictures. You have the prod tab and you have the order tab, and the output of the for all entries will be only those products and their orders which are of type product type biscuits. So that's it from my side. Thank you so much. Bye.